There is a conversation that happens frequently with CEOs running EOS businesses, the entrepreneurial operating system, specifically in the $5 to $15 million revenue range. It usually sounds something like this. We are probably too big for Fractional now. We need to hire someone full-time. The business has outgrown that Fractional model. I hear this all the time. And in most cases, it is the wrong conclusion drawn from the right instinct. That instinct is correct. What worked in the Integrator seat at 2 million is not necessarily what you need at 10 million. The complexity is different. The stakes are higher. The person in that seat needs to be more senior, more financially literate, and better able to lead an existing leadership team rather than build one from scratch. But the conclusion that this means full-time is where most CEOs get it wrong. The variable that matters more is not the employment structure, it is the person's seniority and depth. And at the COO Solution, we place senior fractional COOs into EOS businesses at this revenue level every day. I'm Fredrickson, founder of the COO Solution, and this video is specifically for CEOs at the high 7-figure to low 8-figure level who want to understand what is actually required from an integrator at their stage and whether Fractional can genuinely deliver it. Now, let me be specific about what changes, because it is not just more of the same work at a larger scale. At the $1 to $3 million revenue stage, the integrator is often building from the ground up, establishing the EOS cadence, getting the team oriented around accountability, perhaps for the very first time, creating the infrastructure that did not exist before. That work is significant, but the organizational complexity is contained. At the high 7 to low 8-figure revenue range, a typical week in the integrator seat looks meaningfully different. Monday, the integrator is running a level 10 meeting with a leadership team that has real authority across multiple departments. The scorecard they are reviewing each week reflects financial performance, team metrics, and operational KPIs that have real downstream consequences. Tuesday and Wednesday, they are navigating the decisions that carry financial weight, managing leaders who themselves manage teams, and resolving issues that a smaller business would never encounter. By Thursday, they are reviewing financial performance with the kind of literacy that lets them make operational decisions from the numbers rather than just reporting on them. And the visionary gets a week to focus on strategy, relationships, and growth rather than firefighting. The seat is heavier, and the person filling it needs to have operated at this weight before. So the difference between someone who has managed this level of complexity from the inside and someone who is growing into it at your own expense shows up within weeks. There are 4 capabilities that separate an EOS integrator who can carry a 7 to 8-figure EOS business from one who cannot. Number 1, senior operational experience across multiple functions, not just familiarity with COO responsibilities, but a proven history of managing full operational infrastructure across marketing, sales, operations, finance, and the team at this specific revenue range. They need to have been in the room when the complexity got real, not just read about it. Number 2, the ability to lead leaders, not just manage tasks. At earlier stages, the integrator is developing the team. At the 7 to 8-figure level, the leaders are already in their seats. The integrator needs to evaluate and elevate their performance, develop their capabilities, and hold them to a higher standard without the visionary in the room as a backup. Number 3 is financial literacy and strategic depth. Listen, at this revenue level, the integrator is involved in capacity modeling, financial planning, and decisions that have significant downstream implications. They need to read a P&L, interpret a cash flow statement, and translate financial performance into operational decisions. A strong operator without this fluency is not enough. And number 4 is EOS fluency at an advanced level, not just the basics. At this revenue stage, the tools need to run with more sophistication. Scorecards are more nuanced, rocks better defined, and the L10 meeting cadence drives genuine issue resolution rather than surface level discussion. The right person has done this at this scale before and brings that experience in from day one. Here's where I want to be direct because it deserves an honest answer rather than a sales pitch. Fractional works at the 7 to 8 figure level when the person placed has the seniority, financial literacy, and operational depth that the business requires. The cost is still significantly lower than a full-time hire. A COO with the experience needed to lead a $10 to $20 million EOS business commands $200,000 to $300,000 per year in total compensation, if not more. A senior fractional engagement delivers comparable expertise at almost 30 to 50% of that cost with the flexibility to scale as the business grows. The honest limitation is this: if your business has reached a level of complexity that genuinely requires 50 or more hours per week of integrator level leadership across multiple departments, yes, a single fractional engagement may not carry the full weight. That threshold typically falls between 20 and 25 million, and it varies by industry and organizational structure. If you are at that level, a full-time hire, yes, deserves serious consideration. But the majority of EOS businesses in the 7 to 8 figure range are not there yet. And for those businesses, a senior fractional COO who is placed correctly delivers more value than a full-time hire who is learning the role at your expense. Our matching process at the 7 to 8 figure level goes deeper than it does for earlier stage placements. Beyond EOS fluency and integrator wiring, we evaluate leadership depth, financial literacy, and the specific operational complexity the business is in right now that you're navigating and how we support. For example, Dr. Jessica Drummond, founder of the Integrative Women's Health Institute, was leading a rapidly growing organization amid significant external pressure and needed operational leadership to match the pace and complexity of what she was building. After working with us at the COO Solution, her team operated more cohesively, processes were optimized, and the business was generating 30% more revenue while maintaining a consistent level of profit. She was only working 30 hours per week, focused on a few clear objectives with complete trust and confidence that her team was on track. That is what senior operational leadership at the right level produces. Not incremental improvement, a fundamental shift in how the business runs and how the visionary shows up inside it. One more thing worth saying directly, because it comes up in nearly every conversation with CEOs at this very level. You are probably hearing from advisors, peers, or board members that a business of your size needs a full-time COO. And that advice comes from a reasonable place. However, it is also often wrong, and here is why. The people giving that advice are typically thinking about role permanence rather than operational depth. They equate full-time with serious and fractional with temporary. But the question is not how many hours per week the person sits in your business. It is whether the person in the seat has the experience, the wiring, and the financial and strategic depth your business now demands. A senior fractional COO with the right background will outperform a full-time hire who is growing into the role at your revenue level every single time. The employment structure is not the variable, the person is your next step. So if you are an EOS business in the $15 to $20 million range and you are evaluating what the integrator seat genuinely requires at your level, the right starting point is a conversation about the specific complexity your business is currently carrying. Take our fractional COO quiz to identify what kind of operational support your business really needs, or schedule a discovery call. We will talk through together your situation and what the right match looks like. You bring the vision, we build the operational infrastructure that carries it at scale. I'm Fredrickson, and this is the COO Solution.